Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, truck driver shot dead in York Street, St. Catherine. A 26-year-old truck driver was shot and killed in his community of York Street District in Linstead, St. Catherine on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as Tyrone Harvey, also known as Naya. According to police reports, around 4:40 p.m., Harvey went to a section of the community to collect firewood when he was ambushed by two men, one of whom was armed. The gunman opened fire, hitting him multiple times. Harvey was taken to the Linstead Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the killing. The Linstead Criminal Investigation Branch is investigating. Clarendon man stabbed to death in fight with a brother. A 28-year-old man was allegedly stabbed to death by his younger brother during a fight in midday, Clarendon on Friday. The deceased has been identified as Kemroy Brown, otherwise called the Blacks, a laborer of Hazard Drive in the parish. According to police reports, around 1:20 p.m., Brown was at home when an altercation broke out between him and his 25-year-old brother. During the fight, a knife was used and Brown was stabbed. He was rushed to the Midday Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Midday Criminal Investigation Branch is probing the incident. Westmoreland man charged over dispute at a grave digging. Detectives have charged the 29-year-old Daniel Dwyer of Waterworks Westmoreland with multiple offenses under the Firearms Act after an incident at a grave digging in Logwood in the parish earlier this month. Dwyer was charged with assault as a common law and being in possession of a firearm. The police alleged that during a grave digging dispute on January 18, Dwyer threatened to kill another man while brandishing a firearm. Dwyer fled the scene on his motorcycle, and following an investigation, he surrendered to the police on January 21. In a separate incident, 31-year-old Kamar Gordon of Fraser's Content, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, has been charged with wounding with intent after a violent altercation on January 21. Gordon, a wholesale worker, reportedly stabbed another man in the head during a confrontation at 8:30 a.m. while threatening his life, a police statement said on Sunday. The victim managed to flee, and Gordon was arrested after a police investigation. He was formally charged on Friday and is set to appear before the St. Catherine Parish Court on Tuesday. Police chief admits gross negligence in Sissoko records found at abandoned building. Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake has admitted to gross negligence in the force's mishandling of sensitive records belonging to the law enforcement body that investigates sexual and child abuse. In a statement on Friday, the Jamaica Constabulary Force said the commissioner was addressing an issue that could have easily been swept under the rug. Blake accepted responsibility for the failure, which resulted in sensitive case files belonging to the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse being left exposed in an abandoned building on Ruthven Road in St. Andrew. These colleagues cannot be described as anything less than gross negligence on our part as an organization, especially at a time like now when our transformation is at such an advanced stage and moving at such a rapid pace, said Blake. As the person with a command responsibility over the JCF, I apologize not only to the clients of Sissoko but also to Jamaica. The documents, including police station diaries containing information on cases involving hundreds, possibly thousands of children, were discovered by the news earlier this month, scattered and sold inside the facility. The front cover of one of the station diaries showed that it was used to collect data on child offenses from 2015 to 2017. Another diary indicated that data was collected from 2013 to 2014. The commissioner explained that the Sissoko office had been relocated in 2024 to a new facility at Upper Lady Musgrave Road in St. Andrew, but during the transition, some records that could not be accommodated at the new site were placed in temporary storage at the older building. he said the building was vandalized. The revelation of the exposure sparked outrage and legal concerns, particularly in light of Jamaica's Data Protection Act, which mandates a strict handling and the safeguarding of sensitive information. Attorney-at-law Chukwuemeka Cameron described the development as shocking and emphasized that the exposure represents a worst-case scenario. This is where it sounds like you have sensitive information about offenses that have been committed against the children. This sort of information is kept confidential. In a court case, you don't mention the name of a child because even the fact that there was an allegation of an offense could blight a child's future, Cameron said. The attorney further explained that all government agencies, including the JCF, are required to appoint data protection officers and implement strict data retention policies. Blake, however, said steps will be taken to prevent a recurrence of such negligence. He acknowledged the potential damage to public trust and the integrity of the force, stressing the need for immediate corrective action. Instances of blunders like these are what give fuel to the false narratives and open the floodgate of unfair character slandering of the JCF by describing us as lacking common sense and the understanding of our obligations and responsibilities, Blake stated. In a direct apology to the affected individuals and the nation, the commissioner took personal responsibility for the oversight. For that, Superintendent Karen Bailey, who took over leadership of Sisoko in October last year, distanced herself from the circumstances surrounding the mishandled records. She explained that she was working with what was handed over to her at the new facility and could not account for decisions made before her tenure. PNP condemns a fatal shooting of 12-year-old in St. Andrew. Junior Shadow spokesperson on national security Giovanni Byfield has condemned the Friday's shooting incident on Lindsay Crescent in St. Andrew, which claimed the life of 12-year-old Kevon Ferron. Byfield, in a statement on Saturday, said this senseless act of violence not only took an innocent life, but also underscores the urgent need for more robust measures to protect our children from the scourge of crime and violence. Our children are the future of this nation, and it is our collective responsibility to ensure their safety and well-being. We cannot allow them to grow up in an environment where their lives are constantly at risk. Together, we must take a stand against the crime and the violence and work towards creating a safer Jamaica for all, he said. He is now calling upon the Ministry of National Security to intensify its efforts to safeguard the well-being of our children. It is imperative that immediate and effective steps be taken to prevent such tragedies from occurring in the future. We demand a zero-tolerance approach towards violence against the children, ensuring that perpetrators are brought to justice swiftly and decisively, said Byfield. We urge the government to implement comprehensive strategies that focus on both preventative and reactive measures. This includes increasing police presence in vulnerable areas, enhancing community policing initiatives, and providing support and resources to families and the communities affected by violence, he added. Reports are that the child's mother came to a stop at the intersection of Lindsay Crescent and Dunrobin Avenue with Ferron and his brother aboard when men on a motorcycle rode up and opened fire at the vehicle. The 12-year-old and his mother reportedly suffered gunshot wounds, while the other child was unharmed. Ferron later succumbed to his injuries at the hospital. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.